Hello and welcome to the first in our series, What's the Difference? And I think it's really important to start with the 6 beliefs of Islam. Now, if you're a Muslim, there are 6 things that you have to believe in, 6 articles of faith, also 5 practices, but we'll leave those for another time. The 6 beliefs are: you have to believe in God, you have to believe in the angels, you have to believe in the books, you have to believe in the messengers, you have to believe in the day of judgment, and also predestination. And we will unpack each of those beliefs as we go through this series. But what I wanted to concentrate on today is the books. The books are the most important thing, and can you guess why? I'm sure you probably can. The books are the only ones that are really tangible, that we can deal with here and discuss with our Muslim friends, discuss with one another. So the books would include the Quran in Islam, and it would include the Bible in Christianity. So we can compare and we can contrast these books. These are things that Muslims should be, they have to believe in. They have to believe in the Quran. But interestingly, in the Quran, it also tells Muslims to believe in the Torah and to believe in the Injil, which is the Gospel. But I just want to explain the differences between the books in Christianity and the books in Islam. As you know, in Christianity, we have our Bible made up of 66 books, if you're dealing with the normal Protestant Bible. And those books are set. We've had that canon for many years, and that kind of makes up what we believe. If it's not there, then it's not scriptural. But in Islam, it's very different. First of all, the Quran is meant to be the unchanged word of Allah. So the Quran, here I have like a bilingual Quran. It's got the Arabic and it's also got the English. The Arabic is the Quran, the English is just a translation of the Quran. So when you're speaking to your Muslim friends, they will mention that it's just the Arabic, that's the Quran. But the Quran is not enough if you're a Muslim. It is not enough, because you're to believe in the Quran, but you're also to believe in the Sunnah of Muhammad, which is what Muhammad did, what he said, how he lived his life. And you don't actually get that in the Quran. You don't get that in the Quran. You have to move to another set of books. Now, these books are called the Hadith. And the Hadith are the sayings and the actions of Muhammad, and there are thousands of them. There are thousands of Hadith. And they're made up of little narrations of Muhammad said this, or Muhammad did that. But there is a particular set of Hadith, 6 of them, which are called Sahih. They mean they're perfect. And Muslims are meant to believe everything within this set of perfect Hadith. And the most important of that set is BUKHARI and Muslim. These are the first 2 volumes. They're the most important things. And so you have these thousands of Hadith, and then you have a special set, 6 of them, and then you also have really important 2. Now, these tell you about what Muhammad did and what Muhammad said. And so you think, oh gosh, that's a lot to take in. But no, that's not enough. You don't just need the Quran, you don't just need the Hadith, you also need the TARIKH. Now, the TARIKH are the histories of Islam, how Islam started, what Muhammad did, how the ulama, which are the Muslim people, how they progressed through history. You need that as well. But then that's not enough. You need the Sirah. The Sirah is the biography of Muhammad. It's kind of like a narration of what Muhammad did and said. It's kind of separate from the Hadith. The Hadith are just these little sayings, whereas the Sirah is more like it's more in book story form. It kind of tells more stories of what Muhammad did. But we haven't finished there. You also need the tafsir. Now, the tafsir are the commentaries of the Quran. Now, this is the really interesting thing about the Quran, and one of the main differences. Everything that I've described outside of the Quran provides the context for what's within the Quran. So when we look at our Bible, we find that there is context within the Bible. We read a story about Jesus, and we look at the whole chapter, we look at the book, we look at the placement of the book within the Bible, and we can find pretty much the context of whatever's happening within the Bible. Of course, we can go outside the Bible and look at history and artifacts and, build a bigger picture, but all we generally need is the Bible to understand what's going on. And that's where we're going to get the best context, but not so with the Quran. With the Quran, if you go to a verse, for example, Surah 9, Ayah 29, which is fight those who do not believe in Allah. So this particular verse is, sometimes Muslims say it's used out of context. And I said, okay, so where is the context? They say, read the chapter. But then that's not enough. I need to go to the tafsir, the commentaries, to find out when was this verse revealed. So for Islam, you can see that there is a vast array of sources that a Muslim can draw from to construct their Islam. This is why we have some Muslims saying Islam is like this, other Muslims saying Islam is like that. And if your only theology is God is one and Muhammad is his messenger, and then it leaves it up to all these various sources to determine what is the messenger like, you can see how you can get so many different versions of Islam. Whereas in Christianity, we have a nice, neat, pretty much corpus of scripture, and the theology of Christianity is quite clear. I mean, Jesus, I should say, is quite clear in terms of who he is, what he did, what it means for us, and how we should live. So these are the books, and this is why the books are so important, because it determines what we believe about God, what we believe about man, what we believe about sin, and how we are to live in this world.